Welcome to the Elevate Podcast, your resource for all things business, brand, and leadership. We are excited you have decided to join us today.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Elevate Podcast. Robert Kaelin here with Mike Newman.
Great to be on today, and looking forward to a conversation today. We're all about business, brand, and leadership, and we talk a lot about leadership. We talk a lot about business. Today, our focus is going to be more around brand. So what is it? What are we talking about today, Robert?
That's good. Definitely a brand conversation. And ultimately, we know that as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as leaders, like our business is an extension of us. It's an extension of who we are. And unless you can capture that and harness that and really articulate what does that mean, we tend to have a lot of shiny things pop up, get in the way. A lot of things can take our attention, take our time, take our talents. It's a big topic. So what we're talking about today is, what is your core focus? What is your purpose? What is your niche? These specific things are going to help kind of guide a brand conversation for us as we learn to express what does this mean. Mike, I'm gonna ask you this question because you have done a lot in business, and purpose. You can call it a cause, you can call it a passion, whatever you want to call it. A purpose is something that's key to an organization, but yet it isn't until recently that I feel like purpose has come up in conversation around business. Mostly it's been mission, vision, values, but this word purpose, why are we talking about that today?
Yeah, so I think that you're right that, we talk a lot about you need to know your vision, your mission, your core values, and those are really key things. But when we get down to it, it's what's the purpose? Why do we exist as an organization? And different organizations I work with, from, people who are in the construction industry to medical field to education, those that know their purpose, they're really driven.
Mm-hmm.
And driven by that, they don't let things distract them. In fact,
Yeah.
I think they oftentimes run it through kind of subconsciously through a filter of, that's a great idea, but it doesn't really fit with what we're doing. And so sometimes, they say, hey, it's not the right time for us right now or something. And sometimes that can, as a person who maybe you're trying to sell on something or you're working with them, somebody says, well, that doesn't fit with what we're doing right now. They're talking about their purpose.
Yeah.
It's not our purpose right now. So I had a client a while back here now, but was saying, hey, we just acquired all of this and we can't do that. And so when they acquired this new business, they knew it was going to take on a lot more of their time and their focus and the purpose that they had. And even though what I was talking with them about fit right into what their big vision is, they just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with it right then. And so when we talk about the core focus, and I think we've got to give credit to where it's due from Gino Wickman and Traction. And there's companies in our area that use the EOS system, and maybe you've heard about that, the Entrepreneur's Operating System. But that's what the Traction book is all about, and kind of where we're pulling some of our stuff that we share with you about vision, mission, and values, and today with the core focus. But why, the big questions that need to be answered is, why does your organization exist?
Mm-hmm.
And then what is the purpose? What is the cause? Like Robert was saying earlier, what's the passion behind what you do?
Mm-hmm.
And Gino Wickman pulls out 8 things in a checklist that he would say you would check through these to see what your passion is. So my organization, Innovations in Leadership, exists to develop the next generation of leaders. And Robert knows I had a birthday here recently, and it was the big 6-5, and so that was a milestone. And I had to ask myself, does developing the next generation of leaders, what does that mean now that I've personally have this mental thing now of, and I need to get the clutter out that Morgan Hendricks talked with us about before, about, what is that next generation? Does that mean somebody that is 10 years younger than me, 20 years younger than me, 30 years younger than me? Or like the students that we invited to Live to Lead that are, just emerging leaders? And I had to say, yes, that means that. The next generation, wherever they're at in their journey, are going to be that's why I exist. That's why my organization exists. And what's my passion is about helping leaders become better leaders. So I looked at his checklist today, and just in case you have the book, it's on page 50 to make it easy for you to find. At least it's on 50 in my book.
Mine too.
And his checklist, I wanted just for us to kind of talk about it. So Robert, let's take your business has been around a while, okay?
Okay.
Your elements business, and let's do a little coaching session with our audience here as we go through these 8 questions, okay?
Yep.
And it says that he says, when your purpose, your cause, your passion is clear, it should meet all 8 points in this following checklist. Is it stated in 3 to 7 words?
Yes.
Okay. So to help our audience with it, what is the purpose of Elements?
Yeah. The purpose of Elements is to love people well.
Okay. Now, what I want to share with the audience is that Robert runs a cafe that is focused around coffee and energy, or you don't call them energy drinks.
Healthy alternatives to an energy drink. We call them T-bombs. And then we do fresh pressed juices and frozen yogurt.
So in all of that, how do you get to the point of loving people?
Yeah, it's great. So we are not in any of those businesses. We are in the people business. As Tammy Fink pointed out from Truett Cathy, he said that. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I think our business exists so that we can love people well. That's our purpose, really, why we show up every single day, even when it's hard. And I think purpose gives us resiliency. I'm going to go back to COVID when we weren't allowed to be open. We couldn't have people in our store and have seats. And it got really hard. In full transparency, there was days where we would make $12, and it's like, well, is this really worth it? It's like, well, we got to serve one person, and we got to love them well, and they got cared for. And those are the things that allow you to push through the hard, to become resilient, because your purpose has to matter more than the challenge that's in front of you.
So the purpose, love people well. Okay. So the second checkpoint that he has, is it written in simple language? I could check that.
I would say yes, but I would also say that, to be able to define each of those words is where the complexity comes in. So it's not necessarily simple, because it actually means quite a lot.
Right.
But yes, it's written in simple language.
So with your employees, you have to spend a lot of time defining what love people well means.
Yep. And it's showcased in all of our processes and all of our systems, and the way we greet people, in how we deliver on our customer service. We don't call your name out. We actually bring your stuff to your table. When we take an order, we say, hey, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. We'll bring this to you as soon as it's ready. And that's something that sets us apart as we're loving people well. It's like, look, you don't need to stand up here and wait, and we don't need to yell at you. We want to be able to serve you well and love you well. And this is the way we do that.
Yeah. So the third point, is it big and bold? I think you've just defined that for us, that it's big and it's bold and it's different.
Yeah.
And so the number 4 one, it has an aha effect.
That's and I'm going to ask you, does it have an aha effect to you? Like the aha effect of, oh yeah, that, maybe you've experienced Elements.
So I would say that yes, it does have an aha effect, and part of it is when you walk into Elements, there's a green neon sign on the wall that says generous people. And as I'm an observer, and as I see people come in the first time, they look at that. There's actually a slowdown as they walk to the counter, and they look over there at that sign on the wall. I don't know how many of them ask, what does generous people mean? But Robert, that comes from where we're located at, right?
That's right. Yeah, the word Puyallup actually means the land of generous people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say, yeah, there's an aha effect, and there's also an aha effect with your people who are working the counter, that are actually bringing out to you. The first time I ran into the thing, wasn't said exactly this way. I need to go through your training, but have a seat. We'll bring this over to you. It was like, well, no, I can wait.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, actually, they told me just make myself comfortable.
Yeah. And that, I'll be honest, customer service, you guys probably, all of our listeners has probably experienced that customer service over the last 10 years has gone way downhill. I mean, drastically downhill, to the point of non-existence in some regards, where, you want to call customer service and you don't get through. It's a circular dial pad, program that they send you through. But so many people come in and they're kind of like taken aback by that a little bit. And I think that is an aha moment for them of like, oh, I matter. I can just I don't have to do work. We've trained people in customer service that are the people that we're serving. They have to do something, right? I think Marcus Buckingham and Live to Lead talked about this, where we've trained people going into a diner to be in charge of their story as it kind of goes through, and the experience that's created for them at a restaurant. You walk into the restaurant and you're greeted by a hostess or somebody, and then they take you to your table, and then a busser comes by, and then a waiter comes by, and then you have to explain what you want to the person that delivers your food, because it's a different person every time, and there's handoffs, and it's unloving. And that was something that really stood out to me, because customer service is so important.
Yeah, and that really hits number 5 in this list. Is it comes from the heart. So it comes from the heart of you as the owner, and it also comes from the heart of the people that are working there. It's evident. Number 6 is it involves everyone.
Yeah.
And so love people well, being the purpose, it involves everyone.
Yeah. From the top down. I think it's my job as the owner to love my staff really well, so that when they come in, they know what that means. So when customers come in, they know how to practice it, or how to put it into practice. And, it's important that they see me do that as well. But I think also it includes everybody, meaning it includes all of the staff, and it includes the customer. It's not just for us, something that we hold.
I can say I go to some other coffee places from time to time and get my coffee. And a culture thing that happens in Robert's organization is that you will see hugs happen in that facility, in that space all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to other places, you don't see that as much, because it is something that you've created in the atmosphere that, hey, it's okay to, give somebody a hug here if you haven't seen them in a while, or even if you saw them 5 minutes ago,
Yeah, right.
And then
and I'm gonna pause you right there, because COVID didn't just almost kill us financially. It almost killed us because we couldn't hug people.
Oh yeah.
And finding other alternatives to be able to express that we love people other than just physical touch, right? It was important for us to work out, what does that look like?
Right.
Yeah.
I find myself, you say that, we used to always greet everybody with a handshake, and that habit's gone away. And when somebody reaches out to shake your hand now, oh yeah, I should be doing that.
Right. Yes. Now you get the fist bump or
Yeah.
elbow,
The elbow thing, or
Yep.
So it involves everyone was number 6. Number 7, it's not about money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you can love people well. It's not about money. It's
No.
not about money. Okay. And number 8 in the list, it's bigger than a goal.
Yeah.
When I think about a goal, you achieve it, you check it off, you're done. You're
Yep.
never done with loving people well.
Absolutely. It's every interaction. And it's not a checkbox item, The other thing that I really like about it is that it's not necessarily, I don't want to say it's not attainable, because that's not what I mean, but you can never learn love enough. The depth of what love means and how you can express it, how you can show it to other people. And maybe it's a maturity thing, I don't know, but I feel like you never arrive there. You always can be doing it better and thinking about others more and self less,
Mm-hmm. The second of the greatest commandments, love your neighbor as yourself. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think when we take your example, or and anyone else, that you can run through this checklist, and that we've just given you, and I'll just redo them somewhat slow but quick at the same time. Yeah. Number 1 was, is it stated in 3 to 7 words? Number 2, is it written in simple language? Number 3, is it big and bold? So 1 was, is it stated in 3 to 7 words? 2 is it written in simple language? 3, is it big and bold? Number 4, it has an aha effect. Number 5, it comes from the heart. Number 6, it involves everyone. So those middle 3 were, it has an aha effect, it comes from the heart, it involves everyone. And then the last 2 are, it's not about money, it's bigger than a goal. Mm-hmm. It's not about money, it's bigger than a goal. When we have those, I think that answers one of the big questions about your core focus is, why does your organization exist? And so when we're able to capture that, I think it does that really, really well. Mm-hmm. The second question that he asks about your core focus that we'll cover in another episode in the future is, what's your organization's niche? Mm-hmm. Why do you exist, and what's your organization niche? What's that area that you serve? And again,
I just wanted to say, I want to point out what he wrote in here, because he says, all of us know Orville Redenbacher. And we've seen the little popcorn tins at the store and the self-pop stovetop Orville Redenbacher popcorns, and the niche for Orville Redenbacher is super simple. You guys want to know what it is? It's popcorn. Right? Yeah. I mean, we overcomplicate things so much. I think just thinking about our niche in simple terms, it becomes a huge deal. So what do you do that you need to do really well that only you can do in your industry? Orville Redenbacher would say popcorn. That's it. We're not making lollipops unless they're popcorn flavored. Jelly beans, whatever it is. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully that gives you guys some good thoughts as you move into this week. And we're past hump day. It's hump day right now. So as you move in toward the weekend, to kind of think about and help your business go to the next level, because that's really what we're all about here. Right, Mike?
That's right. Business, brand, and leadership. Great to be on, Robert. Great thoughts today. Thanks for going through the session on your passion.
You know what? I just realized I am always the guinea pig in our podcast. We're going to have to pick on you one time.
That's because I have the gift of wonder. So
that's right. Awesome. Well, hey, it's been a great conversation. Thanks, Mike. You guys all have a great week. And until next week, actually, take care and God bless.
Thank you for joining us. Our hope is this episode has been helpful for you today. If it's impacted you in some way, we encourage you to share it with someone. To receive a direct notification of our next episode, click the follow button on your favorite app or platform. You can also watch each episode on YouTube. The links are in the description. If you want to connect with us on a deeper level, go to countercultureleadership.com/resources. We'll see you next week on the Elevate Podcast.